beautiful recitation. MashaAllah, he had a beautiful smile. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وخاتم النبيين بالقاسم محمد
اللهم صل على محمد
وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المنتجبين أما بعد فقد قال في كتاب المبين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. My dear beloved brothers and sisters, respected Hajj Ali Khalfan, Assalamu alaikum jami'an wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. The leader of the faithful, Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam,
اللهم صل على محمد
was born in the holiest month. What month is that? That is the month of Rajab. He was born in the holiest of places, none other than the Holy Kaaba. No human being on the face of humanity has ever been born in the Holy Kaaba, mind you. Born in the Holy Kaaba. He was married to the holiest of women. His grandchildren and his children were the holiest, the Imams. You know, the Imam Ali alayhi salam was killed on which month, right? The month of Ramadan. The holy month of Ramadan. He was killed in what night? He was killed in the night of Laylatul Qadr, the holy night of Laylatul Qadr. In which position was he killed? In the holiest position, in the position of sujood. Oh humanity, I challenge you. Give me a reason, give us a reason why we should not love Ali alayhi salam. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
You know, I was talking to a Muslim brother. You know, he's a good friend of mine. He's an uncle, and I was, you know, he's been helping me all these years, right? And one time, I brought up a hadith in front of the community. And I said about Imam Ali, and it was okay until I said Imam Ali alayhi salam, and then he lost it. He just, you know, he went bananas, you know, lost his coconuts or whatever you want to call it. And he went crazy. He started bringing out all these verses from the Quran, which he completely misinterpreted. He said, it says in the Quran, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Ati Allah wa ati Rasuluhu. Fabay Allah nabay Rasulullah. Do not follow the Imams. He said, it's a shirk in Islam. He said this, you know, he went crazy. From 1 minute he was my best friend, next minute, I don't know this guy, you know. He went crazy. I said, brother, hold up, relax, man. Seriously, I said, look, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam didn't say, Amir al-Mu'mineen, Imam Ali alayhi salam is with the truth. He did not say that. He said the truth is with Ali. Salawat ala Muhammad.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
Such a status, subhanAllah. No people, no one's ever been given such a status. And yet so many Muslims out of ignorance have rejected the Imams. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam even said, a man who lives his life without knowing his Imam of the time has lived his life of ignorance. You know, we are being blessed to be in the holy month of Rajab. You know, we are compelled, we're into the first week, and now we're into the second week. You know, as we approach the second week, tonight is the 13th of Rajab. Tomorrow is the birth of Imam Ali alayhi salam. These 3 nights are called the bright nights. They're also known as Ayam al-Bayr. 13th, 14th, and the 15th night of Rajab. It's extremely recommended to fast and to give certain types of prayers on these nights, as referred to a reference in Imam Jafar al-Sadiq alayhi salam. One who offers prayers on these nights will be rewarded the whole month of prayers. You know, especially congratulations to the Holy Prophet Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and the Holy Ahl al-Bayt alayhi salam, especially our current Imam of our time, Imam Mahdi Ajullah ta'ala wa sallim.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل.
On the holy birth of Imam Ali alayhi salam, the leader of the faithful, Amir al-Mu'mineen. Hazrat Fatima, a special gift of Rajab that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us of His infinite mercy and blessing. You know, 30 years after the year of Fil. You know, the year of Fil, the Quran, the chapter in the Quran, Surah Al-Fil, was the year of the elephant. You know, 30 years after the year of the elephant was the birth of our beloved Holy Imam Amil Mu'mineen. The Prince of the Believers was one of his titles. Hazrat Fatima bin Asad, the wife of Hazrat Abu Talib, was expecting a child. She entered the presence of the Holy Kaaba. And, you know, as she started praying, she was in so much pain, she said, Ya Allah, O one who removes pain, ease me from my pain. All of a sudden, the walls of the Kaaba opened up, and this, you know, some unseen force made him go into the Kaaba, and then it sealed up inside. Imam Ali alayhi salam is the youngest son of Hazrat Abu Talib alayhi salam. And he was born in the Holy Kaaba. As I said, no one has ever been born in the Holy Kaaba. In the holiest of places, yet he was killed with a fatal blow in the position of Sajud, in the mosque of Kufa, the 19th of Ramadan. And our blessed Imam had died on the 21st of Ramadan, 2 days after he was struck, 40 years after Hijrah. Imam Ali alayhi salam married the best of women. Sayyida Fatima al-Zahra salamullahi alayhi. You know, the queen of ladies in this world and in the next world. Imam Ali alayhi salam had the best father-in-law, the Prophet Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The blessed Imam was graced with the best of children, the Imams, of course. Imam Hassan alayhi salam, Imam Hussein alayhi salam, Sayyida Zainab alayhi salam, al-Kulthum alayhi salam, may the peace and blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be upon them all. And of course the lives of Imams. Imam Ali alayhi salam was the father and the grandfather of all of the Imams. Without him they wouldn't be in existence. In the collection of Imam Ali alayhi salam's sermons and his books, for example, Najl al-Balagha, it says he talks about the people of piety. The pious ones are the people of distinction. They dress moderately and they walk humbly. They remain in the times of trials and they remain in the time of comfort, in the state of comfort. The greatness of the Creator of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is settled in their hearts. And everything else, they doesn't even appeal them. Any haram, lustful thing, they don't even think about it. So they know their reward is awaiting them in the hereafter. You know, such things do not move them away from the true path, and their hearts are grieved. Their protection against evil is strong, and their bodies are thin. Their needs are scanty, and their souls are pure and clean. Now, without further more, I'd like to call upon our blessed Hajj Ali Khalfan, who we're so grateful to have, and we kindly love. I know we're all excited. I'm personally excited. You know, this morning I wake up and I'm so excited I can't wait to hear Hajj Ali Khalfan's lectures. This whole week, last week, I've been waiting to this morning. Please welcome him with the last of salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Do you want to do question and answers? This is a part from our main lesson. And then
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين صلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا وحبيب قلوبنا وطبيب نفوسنا أبي القاسم محمد
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد
وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المنتجبين. Respected brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
I would first like to extend our felicitations to our living Imam and to you all on this incredible occasion of commemorating the birth anniversary of the brother of the Prophet, the husband of the beloved daughter of the Prophet, the Lady Zahra alayhi salam, and the father of the chiefs of the youth in paradise, Hassan and Hussein, and also of the mountain of patience, the Lady Zainab, Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. personalities, I tend to mention, to remind us all that the opportunity that we have here is extended to only a few of us in the world. Because there are some of our brothers and sisters in the rest of the part of the world who don't have this opportunity that we have. So we have to make the best of such opportunities in commemorating the wiladat of these holy personalities, because we sit here in comfort. We don't have to worry about being blown to pieces or being tortured in the chambers of the tyrants. And we pray to Allah to protect our brothers and sisters all over the world. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. There are many approaches that we can use in talking about this great personality, but I think it will befit us tonight in these few minutes to talk about the character of Amir al-Mu'mineen, in the sense that most of the people describe his character as being very broad, not narrow, and multifaceted. The Prophet is reported to have said that it's a very important tradition that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has bestowed by His grace innumerable virtues to my brother Ali. This is what the Prophet reported to have said. And then he continues to say that whosoever listens to the virtues of Amir al-Mu'mineen, writes about it, engages himself about it, or even makes an attempt to understand and imbibe these virtues into his soul, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promises to forgive his present and future, his past, present, and future sins. This is it's amazing, you know, when we talk about the virtues of Amir al-Mu'mineen, it carries a lot of benefit. And not only talking about it, because the Prophet also said that if we simply just talk about the virtues and not act upon it and follow, there is no salvation for such a person. Imam Ali alayhi salam, Ali ibn Abi Talib, had a very special power of attraction and repulsion. Meaning that his personality had an effect on people either positive or negative. This is what the late scholar and martyr Ayatollah Murtada al-Tahri termed as polarization around the character of Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. Salawat ala Muhammad. We know that the personalities of people are not the same in the kind of reaction they produce in the hearts and the minds of other people. We also say that the weaker the personality, I'm sure you will all agree, the fewer minds it engages. So when the personality is weak, you'll notice that that kind of personality will engage very few people or the minds of people or the hearts of people. The fewer hearts it will excite and agitate. Remember, it's always on the positive and negative side. But the stronger and powerful the personality, the more it excites and provokes reaction in the mind, either positive or negative. Usually such personalities are the subject of debates, they are the subjects of arguments, disputes, they are also the themes of poetry, paintings, different kinds of arts, and they are the heroes of stories and writings. And this, by the way, is all true in the case of the personality we are celebrating tonight, and that is Ali ibn Abi Talib. And in this respect, we all know and we all agree, besides, other than the Prophet ﷺ, he had no rivals, or at least very few rivals, if no rivals. Now allow me to give you all an example of how his personality engages the minds of certain people. And I hope that his personality will also engage our minds tonight, inshallah. There is a very famous Shiite scholar by the name of Muhammad al-Mazandarani, who was a scholar in the 7th century after Hijrah. And this person, this scholar, had written 1,000 books on the virtues of Amir al-Mu'mineen. When I read about this, I couldn't believe it. 1,000 books on the virtues of Amir al-Mu'mineen. You know why? Because the personality of Amir al-Mu'mineen attracted this person so much that right from the time he started his studies, he only engaged his mind in studying the virtues and the character of Amir al-Mu'mineen. Salawat ala Muhammad. Now, Amir al-Mu'mineen, there is something unique about his personality. While engaging the minds of such people, occupying their thoughts, he also gives them special light in their lifestyle. He gives them warmth. He gives them a certain kind of love and affection and strength to their hearts. Let's look at examples of other philosophers like Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, and Ibn Sina, and others. We know that they are considered to be the heroes of mastering ideas and exercising the mind. These are philosophers we study, and in schools as well, in the universities. Why? Because they are considered to be heroes of mastering ideas and exercising our mind. Another example are leaders of social revolution. In the last 2 centuries, if you study them, they have created a kind of adoration, a kind of following, a kind of adoration among their followers. Another example are the sheikhs of Sufism. They bring their followers far into the state of submission. This is a fact, by the way. Whether it's something that's recommended in Islam or not, but I'm just mentioning some facts here, that the sheikhs of Sufism, they bring their followers into a very high level of submission, very high level, unimaginable. But notice one thing, in none of these examples that I've given, we see the fervor and the ardor combined with gentleness, kindness, generosity, compassion, as history has shown among the followers of Ali ibn Abi Talib, salawatullahi wasallam. Absolutely no comparison. Now I want to also show you an example of the kind of fervor of a student of Ibn Sina in comparison with that of a sincere follower of Ali ibn Abi Talib. There's a lot to talk about this particular subject, but I won't spend much time. Inshallah, you'll be attending some other programs, and maybe you will hear about all these virtues and the beauty of Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib. So there's a very good story of Ibn Sina and one of his devoted students who said to his teacher, this student said to his teacher, who is Ibn Sina, that if he were to proclaim to be a prophet, he would have a very big following. This is what the student is saying to his teacher. That why don't you proclaim to be a prophet? Because of your wisdom and because of your knowledge and because of your intelligence, you will have a lot of following without any difficulty, without any problem. But Ibn Sina did not reply to his student. He did not say anything. Until on one occasion when they were on a journey together in the winter time. We are experiencing winter in Sydney, but this winter is nothing in comparison to North America and in north of Russia, all that. So during the winter time, they were on a journey together. Ibn Sina had woken up from his sleep somewhere where they had stopped just before Fajr time, before dawn. He woke up his student and asked him to bring a glass of water, as he was very, very thirsty. So the teacher is now saying to his student, can you please get me a glass of water? This very same student who said to him, why don't you proclaim to be a prophet and you will have a big following without any problems? So he's asking him to get him a glass of water. The student procrastinated and made excuses and was not prepared to leave his warm bed. The same thing we do in the morning, when it's Fajr time, namaz time, we make excuses. Oh, Mom, it's very, very cold. Turn the heat on and then I'll wake up. All these are all excuses. So he was not prepared to leave his warm bed and that cold winter morning. At that moment, a few moments after that, the call of the muazzin was heard calling out Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, during the Fajr time, from the top of the minaret. And Ibn Sina thought that this was a good opportunity to now answer his student. So he gives him the answer. He said, you were the one who told me that if I were to claim to be a prophet, people would gather around me in very big number and follow me. But look at this simple command I gave you to get me a glass of water. A very simple command. And you were not even prepared to get up from your warm bed to answer my command. It had no effect on you. You have been my student for so many years, but none of my teachings had any effect on you. You couldn't follow the simple command I gave you. But this muazzin has obeyed the 400 years old command of the Prophet. He got up from his warm bed, climbed up the minaret in the cold winter morning, and he bore witness to the unity of God and the Prophet of Muhammad, and see how great the difference is. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. This story is a real story, by the way, but there is something we learn from this story. What do we learn? We learn that philosophers produce students, but not followers. Remember one thing, some people are simply after philosophy. I want to be a philosopher. I want to follow a philosopher. But this is a fact. Yeah, this is a fact. Philosophers only produce students, but not followers. Social leaders, they produce followers, but not complete men. Not perfect men. They can produce so many followers, social leaders. Today you'll find social leaders have so much following. But when you study their followers, you'll find that there are hardly any one of them who has become complete. Right? The kutubs and the sheikhs of Sufism, they make loads of submission, but not active fighters in Islam. They go out in isolation. They want to reach the high level of submission. They do. But when it comes to fighting in the way of Allah, they'll make excuses. These are people who claim to have irfan, but they're not prepared to become fighters in Islam. But look at Imam Ali alayhi salam. In him, we find the characteristics of a philosopher. We find the characteristics of a revolutionary leader, a social leader, that of a Sufi sheikh, and some of the characteristics of the prophets. Therefore, we say his school is the school of intellect and thought, that of revolution, that of submission and discipline, and in addition, the school of goodness, beauty, ecstasy, and proactiveness. And finally, now we're going to give you the example of a follower of Ali. Among those who were attracted and captivated by the personality of Ali ibn Abi Talib, you all have heard about Maytham al-Tammar, who 20 years after the martyrdom of Imam Ali alayhi salam spoke about his virtues and human qualities in front of his place of crucifixion. Maytham al-Tammar. In those days, when people were being suffocated, when all freedoms were quashed and souls became prisoners in their own breasts. This man, Maytham Tamar, shouted from his crucifix for people to come and listen to what he had to tell them about Ali ibn Abi Talib. Maytham Tamar. So people came from all directions to listen, and the tyrant government of that time immediately ordered his killing because their own interest was being threatened by what Maytham Tamar was to say about Ali ibn Abi Talib. Now history, by the way, bears many traces of such devotion to Ali ibn Abi Talib. Ali, Imam Ali alayhi salam, was both a learned and a wise man, both agnostic and a leader of the society, both a man who controlled his desires and a soldier at the same time, both a judge and a simple worker at the same time, both a speaker and a writer, and in all senses, he was a perfect man with all his attractions. One more minute of your time, please. His personality was such that even when the children met him, they were attracted immediately towards him. Let me mention this, a very short narration regarding it. There is a person, Abdul Wahid, who narrates that as he was finishing his tawaf at Masjid al-Haram by the Kaaba, he saw two young girls arguing over an issue, and that caught his attention, and especially the words used by one of the girls. This particular girl, defended herself from the accusation, and the way she defended herself was by swearing in the name of Ali. She said, I swear by Ali ibn Abi Talib that this is what I mean. I swear by Ali. So this caught the attention of this reporter. And when the girl was swearing, he said, I swear by the one who has been selected to be the wasi, the one who was just in his rule, the one who was fair in the distribution of public treasury, the husband of Fatima al-Zahra, that I have not done this and you are accusing me. Ma fa'altuhu hadha. She was saying, I didn't do this and you are accusing me. I swear by Ali. Looking at the age of this girl, this narrator was really amazed. So he goes straight to the girl and asks her, who is this person you are describing? Do you know him? She said, of course I know him, otherwise I would not swear by his name. He is among the most significant among the scholars. He is the door to our rules and regulation. He is the divine one in the Ummah, the chief of the Imams, Ali ibn Abi Talib. He asked her, have you seen him? How can I not know him? She said, I am the daughter of the man who fought with him in the battle of Siffin. So this girl is the daughter of one of the followers of Ali in the battle of Siffin. And we became orphans. And Ali used to come and visit us, and he used to take care of us. One day he came to our home and he greeted my mother. Oh, mother of the orphans, he said, how are you doing? Kaifa anti? This is what Imam Ali said to the mother. What could be my situation? The husband who took care of me is no more, and I'm going through the challenges of life. Then he asked me to go outside with him. At that time, I was suffering from smallpox, and I lost both my eyes. When he saw me in this condition, he started saying, Oh Allah, this is the orphan child, her father is no more. He called me close, he placed his hands on my eyes. Immediately I opened my eyes and I was able to see again. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave me my son. This, brothers and sisters, is the personality whose birth anniversary we are celebrating. Salawatu And one final thing, and I'm sorry for this because this just came to my mind. Non-Muslims have said great